What if Football Manager had a Legends DLC pack? Well, I found one and it is amazing. There are so many iconic names from the sport we all love, all as free transfers at the start of the game and all aged around their early 20s, and today we're going to go see what happens in this database. As you can see, all of these legends are wanted by many clubs, so it's going to be interesting to follow some of these careers and compare them to real life. And you all know how much I love diving into these databases, so let's take a look. Just a month in and already some players have moved to a club on a free transfer, and we will take a look at some of my favourites in a bit, but there are still players yet to find a home. This list alone is including Beckenbauer, Maradona, Ronaldo and Di Stefano. Some of these don't even have any bids for them yet. Diego Maradona here with bids from Monaco and Porto, however, two sides you wouldn't really expect him naturally to go to. But what insane attributes, by the way. But I can't bloody believe nobody is moving mountains to bring in R9. However, it's hard to argue that the best transfer window was PSG. They signed everybody that they possibly could. They've got Cafu, Edwin van der Sar, they got Tardelli, Maldini even at the back, Olivier Kahn, so they've got three world-class goalkeepers. They've got Pele, for Christ's sake. They also have Zidane in centre midfield. That's obviously going to be amazing for them. Nedved on the left. They also have Cristiano Ronaldo, age 20, who's actually doesn't look that good, and Xabi Alonso, who can also play centre midfield. AC Milan legend Baresi finds himself at Inter Milan, alongside Thierry Henry. Bobby Charlton breaks the hearts of United fans, signing for Liverpool. And George Best heads to Dortmund. Ronaldinho even moved to the Brazilian league with a team he joined in real life in 2012. And Man City signed not one, but 6 English legends, including David Beckham. We've got Bobby Moore, Stanley Matthews, Jimmy Greaves, Jimmy Armfield, and Paul Gascoigne. Gaza at Manchester City. By the time the season got underway, Maradona had signed for Monaco and R9 for Barcelona, or R26 in this world. The only player nobody signed was Razor Ruddock. End of season 1 and Man City with all their English legends won the Premier League, but the only legend in the top 3 scorers was Stan Collymore at Manchester United. I really don't like Stan Collymore. He's another idiot from TalkSport, unfortunately. Gabby Bonhol. AC Milan won the Serie A again, but looking at the player statistics, they do have a young Lionel Messi and Del Piero. Man City also beat Ajax in the Champions League final, who have an absolutely insane team with Lev Yashin in goal, Nemanja Matic and Cannavaro at the back, Nayskins and Johan Cruyff, Rudi Voller, and look who came on as well, Schmeichel and Yapstam, and David Seaman on the bench. They literally have 3 of the best ever goalkeepers. R9 scored in the World Cup final against England thanks to a Harry Maguire error. Never seen one of them before. But England still lifted the trophy because Sterling scored a hat-trick. Yes, I know, this game's broke. You'll be pleased to know that Razor found himself a club finally, playing in the MLS. But I was shocked to see that the next Ballon d'Or winner went to Sadio Mane, and Zlatan was the only legend from this database who finished in 3rd, playing at Real Madrid. Unfortunately though, it was a rather boring turn of events in the second season too, with similar outcomes. I am, however, disgusted in Roy Keane's decision to sign for Arsenal. Oh God! It does make me feel better that Ronaldinho finally signed for Manchester United though, only spending a year in Brazil, and he moved for £22.5 million. Arsenal actually won the Champions League because Pele missed a penalty. Although I am sad again because Arsenal's midfield is genuinely Paul Scholes and Roy Keane. This universe is very weird, isn't it? In terms of current ability, Messi is at the top with 198 out of 200, with Cafu and Lev Yashin just behind him. More transfers already, as Madrid have signed Ruud Gullit from Juventus for 73 million, and Liverpool signing Romario from Flamengo for just 23 million. The following season, Liverpool faced PSG in the final of the Champions League after winning the Premier League also, and Bobby Charlton scored 2 goals in the final. However, the tie was won by an extra time goal from Georgi Hagi, who recently moved to PSG. Man United bought Eric Cantona though from Zenit St. Petersburg for 49 million. And Man City spent over 100 million on Lev Yashin from Ajax. At this point, I think we go 5 years in the future and have a look what happened. Now, when I loaded up this, I thought I'd go straight to the actual players. I want to see who's the best in the world. And we've got 2 players that are on 200 current ability. One being Pele, which Yeah, looks insane. The other being Cristiano Ronaldo, both aged 28 and 29, and both playing for PSG, so I'd expect that they should be winning pretty much every Champions League, definitely every French league anyway. Now, R9 Ronaldo, or is he still? He's moved to R9. Oh, things you love to see. It wouldn't have been the same if he was R26, wouldn't it? He's still at Barcelona anyway, which obviously we know he played for Barcelona in his early career, but didn't stay there too long, and obviously ended up as a Galactico at Real Madrid at some point. But his attributes look phenomenal, absolutely insane player, so it's lovely to see that maybe without the injuries, he's had a good one. But we can see a lot of these players are at the big clubs here. We've got Messi, and there are a few at 198. Bobby Moore here at Manchester City, who's obviously going to be the best centre-back in the world. So he looks absolutely fantastic. I apologise, I don't know who Alan Gilzean is. I'd imagine it's probably a lot longer before my time. Maybe he was fantastic in the 60s and 70s. By all means, let me know. I'm interested to find out who he played for. Maybe he's one of the Celtic lads who won the Champions League, the European Cup, however it was. Cafu and Zidane, they're both still at PSG. Iniesta is at Lyon. Yeah, I did actually see Xavi was there. So do they still have Xavi and Iniesta? Because that is quite hilarious if they did have both of them. I don't actually have them loaded. They also have Rui Costa and Andrea Pirlo, Iker Casillas, so they've got a very strong. Harry Kewell is there. Asu Akoto. Who is saying Asu Akoto is a legend? What is going on here? I didn't check all the players, obviously. There's so many on there. Samuel Eto'o, Kevin Keegan is also at Lyon. So Xavi obviously has moved. He's now at Real Madrid, as well as being Barcelona manager. That's weird, isn't it? So he's Real Madrid as a player, and his biggest rival each game is going to be against Barcelona, and he's also managing them. Yeah, this database is crazy. So he's at Real Madrid. He made his move from Lyon for free. He just hopped off and left. So that's fantastic. So that's quite interesting. With Gareth Barry's there. There's so many different players in this database. Obviously, we'll check to see where Neil Razor Ruddock is. Socrates is at Manchester United, which is quite nice. It looks absolutely phenomenal. Borussia Dortmund still have Rivaldo. Ibrahimovic is still at Peter Shilton, and Bobby Charlton both still at Liverpool. Lothar Matthäus at PSG. So obviously, I'll scroll through a little bit, but there's so many interesting stories that obviously we can't uncover all of them as much as I'd love to, and I've actually spent so much time just scanning through this. I like just seeing the attributes of the players because, you know, if I ever do a database like around this, I'd like to see who I'd pick up. But I think there's too many legends for me to want to do a save in this, because I'd end up just wanting to sign everybody as much as I really want to do that. Maradona there still at Monaco, and Roy Keane still at Arsenal somehow. So well, let's check the leagues then and see what's been happening. We got leagues in focus. Oh yes, come on. I knew I was. Bilbao have won La Liga, and we all know their rules. They cannot sign anybody who is not from Basque, which means they haven't signed any of these legends, and they have won La Liga still. That's insane, isn't it? How have they done that? I mean, no transfers there. Again, they're only signing players that they are allowed to sign. A couple of years, they're not signing anybody. And yet they've won La Liga. That's terrible for Real Madrid and Barcelona. They finished on 98 points as well. They only lost 4 games. That's insane. Whoever that manager is, he should be, like, stolen. David Beckham, not only did he play for Manchester City, when in real life, of course, he played for Man United, he's also played for Barcelona when he played for, of course, Real Madrid. He looks amazing. 29. He moved for £63 million. He also moved for 172 to PSG, which, of course, he did actually play for in real life. So it's quite interesting. Marcus Stewart? Is that the Marcus Stewart that played for Ipswich? It's got, please tell me it's somebody else. I really hope that's somebody else. Bruce Grobbelaar for Real Madrid. I believe Bruce Grobbelaar actually played for Plymouth Argyle, which is quite funny that obviously now he's there at Real Madrid. So I'm still shocked by the Bilbao. I'm still shocked by that. We'll take a look at the Premier League, though, because Manchester United are champions. I want to see how long that's lasted. Just a season. All right, just... Carlos Tevez is at Tottenham. Kanu's at Leeds, which is quite interesting there. I liked a bit of Kanu, even though he played for Arsenal. Platini at Tottenham. My dad will be really buzzing with this, so quite interesting. Luis Suarez ended up at Liverpool. I did see he started off in the Brazilian league quite early on, so that's quite nice. And Roy Keane, yep, still there. Every time I see it, it breaks my heart every single time. So yeah, interesting stuff in the Premier League. The Serie A, so I only loaded 3 leagues because we all know that Bayern Munich just win every single time, and PSG tend to win every single time. But Juve have kind of dominated with AC Milan here. Romario is at Napoli. Nice. Paolo Rossi is at Milan. I can't remember who Paolo Rossi played for. Apologies. Just Fontaine is at Milan, as well as Thierry Henry. So Thierry Henry, did he move? Because I'm sure he played for Inter. He did. Oh my god, he made the... On a free transfer. That's like Luis Figo, isn't it? He would have had a pig's head thrown at him and everything. Thierry Henry moved from Inter Milan to AC Milan, you trophy hunter, because he won the league straight away as well. So he did actually go and do that. Edgar Davids is playing for Juventus, which of course he actually did. Really interesting stuff. There we go in the Serie A. I want to see, has any legends actually won the Ballon d'Or? Because it feels like they're just not allowed to win it when I was checking earlier. They have. Right, okay, good. So Mbappe was the last one who won it. I didn't really... check, although Zlatan and Messi both finished in second and third. Zlatan then won it with Pele second, and Eusebio, who was at Arsenal, finished in third. Eusebio looks crazy. Zlatan's won it 3 times now. Let's take a look at Zlatan. He's 26 on this, so maybe they made him a little bit younger, which is ironic because he's he's 29. That's because he won it when he was 26. I was going to say it's ironic because he's one of the oldest players on the game, but there we go. He is amazing still. Of course, that finishing first touch, they've got him quite nailed down, I guess. Very well done. What I would say is, from the players that I know from my time in watching football, every time that I found one of those legends, their attributes have been really similar. So I actually think it's really well done. So Zlatan's won it twice. Johan Cruyff finished in 3rd place. The last time he won it, Dimitar Berbatov finished in 3rd place. For an example, Berbatov, we all know how amazing he was. He wasn't the quickest. He only has 11 pace. He didn't really work that hard. He only has 5 work rate. But he had an amazing first touch, and there it is at 19. Flair of 18, composure of 19. All the things that Berbatov was good at, he's good at on Football Manager. So props to the guy. And I haven't actually told you where I found this, have I? I apologise. I found this on FM Scout, so I will highlight it. The database is called Legends Database Free Agents by UK Football Score. And as I say, you can find it on FM Scout, but I'll also link it in the top of the description. That's my bad for not telling you sooner, but there we go. PSG have won back-to-back Champions Leagues. Obviously, they won it in 2025 as well. Liverpool, Manchester City getting the others, which isn't too surprising. Obviously, we've seen where the players have been going. But what I do want to see is the transfers. If there have been we did see one of them there, which was, quite expensive. I wish my W button would work, and we can see obviously each year how the most expensive transfer is going to be. So it doesn't help when a lot of them are the real players that are in the game right now. But Gattuso, for example, is here. If we go back 1 year, then we've got Paul Merson moved to Manchester United for £54 million. Wesley Sneijder's moving to Arsenal as well. So there isn't that many big deals here, is it? Alan Ball, World Cup winner, moving to Borussia Mönchengladbach. I love things like this, I really do. Back to 2028, Gonzalo Higuain to Newcastle of all teams. Nice. David Beckham, that was when he moved to Barcelona for around about £67 million. Benito Carboni's in this as well, for any Benito Carboni fans. PSG also picked up Vincent Kompany. That's when Socrates moved as well, because Man United had a great transfer window there, because they signed Ortega, they signed De Gut, they signed Clarence Seedorf for £92 million and Socrates for £102 million. At the same time, Ryan Giggs moved to Newcastle for £85 million. David Ginola. There's just so many legends of the game that is on this. Shevchenko, I've seen him there as well. So £88 million for Gento, which is, I don't know who that is, unfortunately. I do apologise. Maybe it's somebody from a long time ago. Newcastle also signed Marcus Rashford there, which is a little bit sad. Now, there has been a World Cup since, so we'll check to see who won that one. It was England again. England won the World Cup again. I don't say I'm too surprised at that. I mean, obviously, it's quite biased that the guy who created this is from the UK. He's probably going to be English, and obviously there's a lot of English talent that's on this, so it's no surprise that they've gone and won the World Cup again. But we will check to see who they actually defeated in the final of the 2026 World Cup. It was Brazil again. So back-to-back Brazil. We can't see. I could go back. It was back-to-back Brazil-England finals, and this time England won just the 1-0. And the Euros has also been taking place. I think they've had 2 Euros since we've had a look. France is the current holders. Germany won it in 2024. Now, I didn't want to go too far again into the future, so I went just another 6 years, because then players are around about 34, and like we're going to start to see too many new gens now, like this guy here who's world class. So I don't want to confuse it too much in the database, so I've gone to this point. This will be where we'll end it. But Ronaldo still is 197 current ability there at PSG, alongside Lev Yashin at Manchester City, who it doesn't look that good, but still, obviously 193 for Lionel Messi. He stayed at Barcelona pretty much his whole career. I wonder if he makes a little cheeky. Oh no, he moved to Milan. I forgot he was at Milan. So he went to Barcelona on a free transfer and had some great seasons there. Nowhere near, obviously, how good he actually was in real life. David Beckham still at Barcelona as well. So there are obviously going to be some names that we won't recognize now, which are going to be new gens, but it is quite surprising how many players stayed at the same club, considering obviously they were free transfers to begin with, and they can just move, and not a lot of like big transfers happened. I don't know why. Now, Patrick Vieira's only moved once there from Borussia Dortmund to Tottenham, and that was a free transfer as well. So that's quite hilarious for Arsenal fans, because that's like me and Roy Keane, really, isn't it? That's exactly the same thing that's happened to you. So Newcastle had Steven Gerrard. I did notice that was quite an early one, to be fair. I think, yeah, he stayed there pretty much his whole career, which, yeah, again, quite weird to see Steven Gerrard in somebody else other than Liverpool. But that's kind of it. Now, Maldini, one of my favourite all-time players, stayed at PSG. Quite interesting there. Let's take a look at the leagues and stuff like that and the Ballon d'Ors. I will say, by the way, if you can help me get to 100,000 subscribers, that sent me a bit of a challenge. It's going to be an impossible one. I really do think it is. So if you haven't done so yet, I'd love it if you can smash that subscribe button as we go. And Newcastle's won the league. It was inevitable, really, wasn't it? So Steven Gerrard does win a Premier League. He just doesn't do it in the shirt of Liverpool. They've actually won loads. Wow. Okay, so they've won 4. They've won more than Man United. Man United won it 1 season. Then Newcastle have won it 4 times in the last 6 years. 81 points is not that high of a total either. Gonzalo Higuain is the top scorer of the league. Not that many goals. And they've also got Benzema and Jorginho. Wayne Rooney's at Chelsea. George Best is at Tottenham. That's quite nice. Age 35, and he's still playing. Of course, his career was very short compared to what it could have been. Gary Lineker looks fantastic, and at Aston Villa, played there his whole career. So some really interesting stories going on there. Now, the other leagues, and I could have just clicked on there, to be fair, but I've gone the long way round. La Liga Santander. Has Bilbao won anything else? No. So it has just been traded between Real Madrid and Barcelona, who have managed to keep hold of it and managed to keep hold of a lot of the players as well. Luka Modric at Barcelona. Wow. Okay. We'll go to the Serie A, and we'll take a look at the Serie A before we take a look at like the Ballon d'Or and things like that. Diego Forlan is at Roma. Milan have been dominant, by the way. Wow. Okay. They've like won it hell of a lot. They've won it so much. Robert Perez and Thierry Henry stayed there quite a lot. So he's been there for a while now. Interesting. Now, we will take a look at the Ballon d'Or. I'd be shocked if we did start seeing new gens win the Ballon d'Or already. Yeah. Okay, so as I thought would be the case, Messi and Ronaldo have won a couple of Ballon d'Ors. It's just not as many as I anticipated. Messi won the first one there in 2030. Pele won it the year after with Ronaldo and Garrincha in 2nd and 3rd place. Then Messi won back-to-back with Ruud Gullit and Gary Lineker. How many goals did Gary Lineker score? 35 and 53. Ruud Gullit, from right wing, scored 31 there. So Lionel Messi, then Pele and Ruud Gullit again. Ronaldo then beat Messi to it with Gary Lineker finishing 3rd with 37 goals. Ryan Gravenberch was 3rd, playing for Gladbach. That's bizarre, isn't it? I didn't anticipate that at all. Now, there's been one more World Cup. That'll be the last thing that we'll check here. Italy have won the World Cup. Oh, the Netherlands won it in 2030 as well. So there have been 2. The Netherlands have finally won themselves a World Cup. Italy have won their 5th. Yeah, their 5th. There we go. What do you think of this database? I thought it was very interesting indeed. Let me know your thoughts. If there's anything that you want me to take a look at, there's other cool databases on there. There's one where all the players have, like, current players, not legends. They're all free transfers and staff. Maybe that'll be an interesting video as well, and see where all these players end up again. And I think there's another database where there's no players. I mean, I'm interested in doing them. If you enjoy them, then I enjoy them, because I enjoy having a look around. It's just whether you enjoy watching me watch them happen. I know at the start we go a little bit more fast-paced and quick to get you into it and involved, but it's harder to do that throughout the whole video. It's much easier to just dive in this style. So let me know your thoughts. I'll be interested, and yeah, if you can help me by subscribing, I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. See you soon, and watch this video because this one's really good. I had to complete football with Zlatan because he's never won a Champions League. He did in this universe, but not in real life. So I won it for him. Oh, before you go, I forgot to mention Neil Razor Ruddock. He didn't have that great of a career. He moved to Wolves for £7.5 million, finally playing in the Premier League. Then he went to Frankfurt, so he actually played for one of my favourite clubs, and he's now a coach at Blackburn.